your reigning Invitational champion, Jody, on your right. Both these players off to a good start, 1-0, number 19 and 29, respectively, here on our SCG Tour leaderboard. And Jody repping Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, and the crew, the Pelés. I'm thinking top 4 seed for the Pelés this year.
Mirotic.
Oh, yeah. New signing, Julius Randle.
Etuan Moore.
Can't forget about Elfrid Payton. Actually, I think I might want to forget about him. I don't think he's great. Jody,
Louisiana native.
Jody,
Elfrid Payton.
Hey, he's home.
Yeah, he's home. He's home.
Jody, I believe, on a mulligan to 4.
There's not that many cards.
No. Sitting very comfortably here is Jody Keith. This is going to be a tough game to win. With no land to play, nothing to play on his first turn of the game. As Barich started things off the Noble Hierarch, now it's a Ponder, an Inkmoth Nexus, and a Blighted Agent. Jody's going to draw, and will he concede is the question. Not yet.
Well, he's probably dead this turn with Counterspell backups.
Well, it's actually just going to be 2. It's kind of just a boring old attack here for Aaron. As Jody Keith picks up 2 Infect counters. And you know what? If we're going to go to the Mississippi, Louisiana area, we're missing one person.
Tom Ross.
We're missing Tom Ross, who I had dinner with on Wednesday.
Ten and Grace in the house, however.
Also true.
Baton Rouge native.
Now Tom Ross here on the table. As here's a Mox Diamond. The discard is Rashad and Port. There's a Wasteland. Here's a Chalice of the Void on 1. Probably not. Just hardcast the Daze. That's not going to happen. There goes the Chalice. Good try, though, as we're going to head back over to Aaron Barich. Barich, you see his hand. He's got a Fluster Storm of Force. Well, on his upkeep, looks like he's going to sacrifice Misty Rainforest. Get himself a Tropical Island, potentially. And it will be a Tropical Island. Barich, your reigning, defending Invitational champion. Of course, he got the job done with his Wizard red deck in Standard and Infect in Modern. Really took Infect by storm. It was a great choice that weekend. Ended up beating Zach Elsick in the finals, who was playing Ironworks that weekend. Not a good matchup there for Zach, as an Invigorate is the draw here for Aaron. Aaron made things look pretty easy, as he's making this game look pretty easy right now, too. He's going to come across here for 2 Infect. Blight Agent's going to bring Jody Keith up to 4 Infect, and in combination with an Invigorate next turn, this one might be over here in just a moment, though Jody's going to try to fight back with a Grim Monolith and maybe cross his fingers and hope for another turn.
Jody also playing with Tangle Wire, another card that combos well with Smokestack.
A cube favorite of mine, as here's an Ensnaring Bridge. Force of Will is going to take care of that. Looks like exiling a Blighted Agent. Pass the turn back. Barich will draw, picks up a Daze. Here's your attack. Exalted plus Invigorate is 6 Infect, and we are all done here. So Aaron Barich going to win game number 1 here over Jody Keith relatively quickly. Infect very quickly up a game here over Stacks. You were a Smokestacks guy, really?
I was.
Yeah.
It's really interesting now thinking about it, playing Saga Mask Standard. How many of the mechanics were you don't keep your card? It just dies on its own. Because Echo and Fading both appearing in those 2 blocks.
We take a look at this.
Do you like your cards but don't love your cards? Yeah. we have a couple of keywords that you might be interested in.
For Jody, 4 Lodestone Golem, 3 Silent Gravestone, 3 Ensnaring Bridge, 2 Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale. He can't get away from that land, along with the Grafdigger's Cage, a Sorcerer's Spyglass, and 1 card that's certainly going to be coming in Walking Ballista.
Walking Ballista is great here. I think Ensnaring Bridge is a little sketchy here, because Barich's deck is really good at, I have a 1 power creature attack you and kill you with pump spells. Ensnaring Bridge is a little less reliable there. I don't mind bringing in the Tabernacles, too. It's not at its best here, but backed up with some mana disruption, it can be really prohibitive for Barich to combo out or leave up counterspell mana.
We'll go to Aaron's sideboard now. You see a lot of 1-ofs there. We'll start with the 2-ofs first, however, and 2 Dismembers and 2 Surgical Extractions. That means there will be 11 1-ofs in Force of Will, Crows and Grip, Dissenter's Deliverance, Nature's Claim, Pithing Needle, Dryad Arbor, Flusterstorm, Sylvan Library, Blue Elemental Blast, a card that you have a nice one of, apparently. Very passionate about that.
Oh, yeah. My beta babe.
A Relic Progenitus and a Viridian Corruptor. Corruptor obviously going to come and destroy artifacts. Anything else you like?
Anything that can interact with artifacts. I think the Needle gets over the line here, too. The extra Force of Will. A lot of Jody's hands are going to just be, here's a ton of mana early on and 1 big thing. If you can counter the 1 big thing or blow it up, a lot of his draws won't amount to much.
Well, those are the options there for both players. We'll be underway here in game number 2 in just a moment between Barich and Keith. But first, we talk about StarCityGames.com Game Night, the very popular promotion where every week in September you can find the pin that fell off of me last round briefly in Garden Tendency.
Oh, I remember to put mine on. Great. Okay, go to StarCityGames.com/Game Night for more information. The short of it is every month we come out with new pins and tokens we send to stores who are signed up for Game Night. Stores can then run Game Night however they want to, any day of the week, any format. Just get players in the store on a regular basis for some fun and friendly magic. As Cedric mentioned, this is the September kit, Garden Tendencies. We have a couple more to show you. I don't know if I've seen all of these yet. So October is Heads of the Class. And then in November...
You've not seen this one, I know that.
Hit me. Rise from the Nashes. That's actually pretty sweet. Go to StarCityGames.com/Game Night. Find out more information. Find the Game Night closest to you in stores. If you want to get signed up, contact your Star City Games in-store play representative.
That'll take care of Game Night. Now we take care of learning a little more about your invitational champion, Aaron Barich, 21-year-old from Gulfport, Mississippi, with 6 open top 8s, 1 open win, and of course that invitational top 8 and win earlier this year. Streams games on twitch.tv/ I don't know what that is, acts in Community Theater Troupe, and is a connoisseur of fine hats. Is Aaron Barich. He also likes some aggressive decks. I know that Tom Ross is one of his favorite players. Known each other for a little while, but I remember way back when Aaron was much younger, and 21 is already still pretty young, when we used to go to SCG Dallas, and he was chopping people up there pretty good around the age of 16 and 17. So to see him win an Invitational this early on in his career, pretty impressive stuff, but not too much of a surprise, truth be told. He likes his aggressive decks, and he plays them well.
Also, in terms of just sort of general attitude and being a good person, I think Aaron rates very highly.
Checks those boxes off just fine. As Jody Keith, the leader of the Goon Squad, going to be on the play here this weekend. Pretty nice beard here for Jody. I don't know if you noticed. It's well kept.
Oh, yeah, it's well groomed.
Yeah, it's looking good. I admire and I appreciate a strong beard game.
Between a connoisseur of fine hats and the beard,
yeah.
Strong haberdashery game on display here from these two.
It's a good use of haberdashery. That one doesn't get much play. I'm impressed right there.
It is one of my favorite words.
We'll talk about IQs here very quickly while Aaron does take a mulligan. Invitational qualifiers is, of course, what IQs stand for. There's a lot you can get by finding one near you, up to and including Aaron Barich tokens and his playmatch. You get $1,000 for the top 8. SCG points, top 8 playmat, top 8 pin registration tokens. And you might notice those 2 other tokens down there alongside Aaron. Hello!
Yep.
Hello, Patrick riding a dragon and Matthias Hunt doing a little constructing. A Karn token and a dragon token. Only available at Invitational Qualifiers. Go to StarCityGames.com/IQ. Find one near you. Start your journey. Qualify for that Season 2 Invitational at the Berglund Center in Roanoke, Virginia, which is going to be a freaking blast. Maybe Aaron goes back-to-back Tom Ross style. That'd be something. Aaron's going to keep the 6. He'll scry. Top card going to be headed somewhere here in just a moment. How busted would it be? Just out of this right now. Instead of scrying on the mulligan, you get to surveil. Just get to put a card in the graveyard instead of the bottom of the deck.
I think the times where that comes up, it's for bad reasons.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's actually a horrible idea, but I just thought of it right now.
Is Magic short on like the graveyard being a live zone and manipulating material out of it?
No.
I would argue no, it is not short. Yes!
Lock him up.
Here we go.
Lock him up, Jody. It's a Chalice on turn 1. It's a Trinisphere on turn 2. Things are expensive. And Jody's even got an Inventor's Fair to start maybe gaining a little bit of life once he finds the 3rd artifact. Oh, wow, Serum Powder. We're really going to work for it now.
Ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Some ramping.
Serum Powder. I'm going to say that Serum Powder is the weirdest of the 3, so I guess we'll take a look at that one.
Just make some mana.
Yeah.
Trinisphere means that Barich can't cast his cards, and Chalice of the Void on 1 means that Barich can't cast his cards. So that's where we're at.
Says Serum Powder from? Is that
Darksteel.
Yeah, you're right. It
I
is
believe.
Darksteel. No, you're right, Darksteel. I was thinking it was 5th Dawn briefly, but I'm pretty sure it's Darksteel. 3 mana, taps for just 1. Anytime you could mulligan and Serum Powder's in your hand, freebie! Sort of. You may remove your hand from the game, then draw that many cards. Now here's a Walking Ballista and a Wasteland, and Jody might have him in the lock.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad right now for Aaron. It is not good.
I think the only thing we're missing now is a Smokestack to really lock it up. Though Aaron does have a copy, it looks like, of Crows and Grip in hand.
Gonna need a lot of those.
Here's an attack for 2.
You said 1, right? It's
I
got
did
1?
say just 1.
All right, choose wisely.
Yeah.
There's 3 permanents in play that are very difficult for Aaron to play through.
Let's make it 4 permanents in play that are difficult now. There's another copy of Walking Ballista.
Walking Ballista is really good against an Infect player who can cast their spells, which Aaron cannot. Stay tuned for more top-level analysis.
That's right. The raise is coming. Don't worry. Aaron with 3 fetch lands on the battlefield, Windswept Teeth, Verdant Catacombs, and Misty Rainforest. Look like he's going to make his move. Sack all 3. Down to 15 goes Barich. He'll take 3 lands out of the deck. It'll be 1 trop. It'll be 2 trop. It'll be 3 trops, which means Wasteland will be targeting something soon.
For our bingo
yes, sir.
equity, I refuse.
Oh,
I'm leaving some points on the table here.
Okay.
I refuse to count player controls multiple lands that don't produce mana in regards to fetch lands. I don't count those.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't count those.
That's fine. Got no problem with that.
It's not the spirit of this.
It's like if you have a Maze of Ith and a Tabernacle.
That's what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
I'm not taking that one.
Gotcha. Here's a Pendelhaven now. Noble Hierarch. Which
back in it.
Yeah, that's countered. That's a good try. It's a good try.
Good try.
Yeah. Also, if it resolved, it would have been killed by Walking Ballista.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the Noble Hierarch into a Chalice for 1 and a Ballista is a strong play.
That's how you become an invitational champion. You just don't give up. Here's Crucible. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here, a bang.
Not strong like you're going to win the game. You're not.
No.
It's strong as a declaration of intent. That's what I mean by strong. Aaron just playing this out.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You got takes his draw step. All right, fine. Now, all right.
I guess that's it.
I didn't draw a good card.
Yeah. I guess that's it. Jody Keith going to tie things up here against Aaron Barich. Jody got the stacks working there.
I need to do these shows more. It's a little bit more legacy in my life. A little bit more of it.
Yeah, I was like, is he going to play another turn? Are we serious right now? He's a fighter.
Yeah, he's just.
I like that no concession lifestyle, but there's no outs here, my friend. You should take a look at the sideboards here once again. Now, if Aaron didn't know what was going on before, he certainly does know now. So, again, we know the Viridian Corruptor is going to come in, or at least it was in, potentially Relic Progenitus. You like the Needle, especially, I mean, you got to shut down Walking Ballista, man. That's hard for Infected.
There's more than enough cards in Jody's deck to Needle, so I think that one's easy.
For Jody, I mean, we're just going to do our thing, right? Hopefully the draw's good.
I would take the, I like the extra Walking Ballista and pass that. I mentioned before I could be talked into the Tabernacles. I don't think this is a great matchup for Ensnaring Bridge, but Jody still may want to have 1 or 2 in his deck.
Fair enough. These players going to go back to the drawing board a little bit here. You see some smiles, some good banter. They've known each other for quite a while, have Barich and Keith, given the area of the country they are from. Creature Collection we'll talk about here very quickly. We went over game night. Garden Tendencies, you can get at your game night all. What month are we in? I was going to say July.
That's not
it is not even close to July. All September long, you can get game night, Garden Tendency stuff. You can also head over to go.starcitygames.com/creature collection. Get your playmat sleeves and player bundles of Garden Tendencies. I don't really know what's going on with that monster behind that panda. Not sure I even want to ask. That panda is not going to live long.
Yes. That is. I did not notice that on first blush, and that is horrifying.
That thing is going to kill that panda.
You know what makes it so horrifying?
The smile.
The smile. Yep. That's right. The panda is smiling.
Very happy.
Couldn't be happier, tending to its garden. What a peaceful day.
Last day of tending that garden, I think.
Your last thought on Earth is, this is nice. Anywho, go to SCGBALT.com/creature collection. Go check it out. Playmat sleeves, bundles, etc., and so on.
And now Jody Keith, the leader of the Goon Squad. The 30-year-old from New Orleans, Louisiana. The one place in the country I have not been to that I really want to go to. 5 open top 8s, 1 win. Still looking for that invitational top 8, potentially a W as well. Drove a cab for 7 years and tells the stories on his YouTube channel and his Twitch stream. Both are a lot of fun. Best door-to-door salesman for the local newspaper from 03 to 06. And so indecisive, he always, I've heard this story, he always gets the server to surprise him, which he dubs the usual. Mm-hmm. So he will go out to dinner, and he'll say, I'd like the usual, and the server will say, I don't know who you are. And it just says, I think his rule is no tomatoes and whatever you think is the best thing on the menu. That's the usual.
It's a fine way to order.
Right.
I think I'm a little too sensitive about what foods I like to be able to do that with confidence.
I love it and respect it.
Oh, yeah. It's
coming right in. I'll take the usual.
It's a power move. It's like casting a Noble Hierarch into a Walking Ballista and Chalice or what.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's right or not. It's just you know,
This is a thing I'm going to do.
It's a statement of intent.
Both these players are going to take a look at 7 cards. We'll be underway here in game number 3 in just a moment. After this match, we're going to talk about, let's see, what guild do you want to go to? You pick the guild. I'll pick a card.
Let's talk about Boros.
I had a feeling. All right, I got a Boros card we can talk about in just a moment after this match as Ancient Tomb mocks Diamond. We'll see if this resolves. It will, discarding a City of Traders. Down to 18 goes Keith from the Tomb. What's the follow-up going to be? Is another Chalice start? It's a Walking Ballista start. We'll see if it actually resolves, though, as Barich is looking at 2 Force of Wills in hand, and he'll use them to try to take care of the Ballista, and that's going to work. Wants to protect that Glistener Elf that could kill as soon as turn number 2, depending on what Aaron's hand looks like. Aaron's follow-up now, I believe that's a Brainstorm.
Yeah.
Could be a Ponder. It is a Brainstorm.
From Chase's Spellbook.
You are correct, sir. Proud of you.
Is this lethal?
He'll need 2 Invigorates, a land, and a Noble Hierarch for it to be lethal.
Well, he's looking at I think that's a Berserk.
Well, then maybe he doesn't. Well, he won't have... Invigorate plus Berserk is lethal right now, right?
It's always lethal.
Yeah. that's actually just true. Yes, you're right. We're deep in the tank with Brainstorm right now.
So probably not lethal.
No, I don't. Be one hell of a slow roll. I'll tell you that much. All right. He set it up. He's happy. It's a Wooded Foothills. It's an attack. All right. Just 1 infect. Let's go back over to the leader of the Goon Squad, Jake Keith. He'll draw. Number 29 on the SC Tour leaderboard here in season number 2. That means he walked in this tournament with 1 bye. First round of play for both of these players. Well, let's see what happens next here for Jake Keith. He's got a Wasteland in hand. Actually looks like 2 copies of Wasteland. Not sure it's the best time to fire it off, though. You got to be a little worried, too, because you're playing against a deck that has become immense. This is an Ensnaring Bridge. This is kind of the concern you talked about. Not looking good here.
Yeah, as far as creature decks go, I think Infect is among the best at beating specifically Ensnaring Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You attack with a lot of 1-power creatures. You accumulate Exalted triggers and then use Pump Spells to finish someone off. Ensnaring Bridge really doesn't cover you against that kind of stuff. Unless Jody can get his hand completely empty, and with 2 Wastelands in hand, that's going to be really hard to do.
Aaron thinking about the cards he placed on top from the Brainstorm and thinking about maybe sacrificing this Wooded Foothills on the end step, or if he wants to keep it. Now, of course, he can sacrifice the Foothills in his upkeep if he wants after he untaps, of course, because it won't change very much. But there might be some reasons to do it on the end step as opposed to the upkeep. So Barich is going to give this a pretty healthy think, much like he did with the Brainstorm earlier in the game. All right, he'll untap. We're going to go to his upkeep. We'll go to his draw step. Barich is drawing a card. He'd like to attack. Here comes Glistener Elf. Is it time to go for the W?
Yeah. Looks like he's got no counterspell cover.
Just an attack there for 1 more infect. Jody Keith up to 2 infect. Let's go back over to Jody. Can he get some cards out of his hand? Is the question. Crucible is a good start. That's a Wasteland. Lose this. Jody down to it looks like just 2 cards in hand. But that's not 0, which is where he wants to be. He'll fire off the Wasteland on the Tropical Island. A little bit of risky business there because placing a card in the graveyard is, in fact, oddly, not something you want to do all that often because of Become Immense.
Yeah, I mean, it can be mana neutral from Barich's perspective. Because you still have to come up with the green to cast it, but you have 1 extra card to delve.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder here if Barich is just respecting the possibility of something like Dismember or Warping Whale or something that's preventing him from going from the kill here. But I think now with Jody having Wasteland Crucible, it's going to make mana problematic going forward. And the fact that he's approaching an empty hand to Ensnaring Bridge lock the Glistener Elf. If Barich has lethal in his hand, I think you got to go for it, even if you're vulnerable to some reactive cards that Keith may have.
I think we might be in just that stage of the game where there's no reason to wait anymore because you really can't afford to. Nature's Claim will be played here by Aaron Barich. Give Jody a little bit of life, but that doesn't matter all that much, as the Ensnaring Bridge is dead. Here's an attack. I think we're going to see it become immense. That's going to resolve. And now it's time for Invigorate for the W. Jody's going to show a hand that's not going to get the job done. Aaron Barich is going to win this match here over Jody Keith. 2-1. In fact, going to take care of stacks. And for